It's a fat man.
Duck, duck, gray goose. Sorry, I'm drunk. Duck, duck, goose is called duck, duck, gray duck in Minnesota because fuck the goose, I guess. That's your Snapple fact of the week.
Over 60 million Mario Kart 8 were sold on the Switch.
Cool. Not a Mario franchise.
Absolutely is.
It
That
100% is.
Smash Brothers isn't a Mario franchise. Mario's the name of the fucking title.
Super Mario Brothers is the ultimate Super Mario game. And it beat Breath of the Wild.
Super Mario Brothers is the super... Well, because it's been on 40,000... One, it's like 90 years old. Two, it's been on 40,000 different consoles. Three, TNA Under Siege?
Let's talk about that on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man. I apologize. My other TV the volume was on, and I didn't notice it until the little intro. I was like, wait a minute. I hear noise in the background. What is this? The TV in front of me.
Oops. Oh, well. Well, welcome to another wonderful episode. Today, the Proud Papa, Ryan Williams, is here.
Hey, oh, and also the King of the Ring Master, because I have all the information.
The master of the kid. Are you just the ringmaster?
Yeah, that wouldn't get over.
Nah.
Would it ever? Obviously, we're joking about games before we get on. All three of us are huge gamers. We're all gamers here. We all love games. But today we're actually going to talk about TNA, right?
Yay!
Who the fuck watches TNA?
Not you. Okay, Ryan, you and me. Sleazy, go away. Ryan.
Deuces!
Goodbye. All right, Ryan, let's go. Here we go.
The stream had to stop.
It's just like, and then the outro just plays. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Under Siege. That happened near you.
2 weeks ago by the time this airs, a week and a half ago.
Right? But it happened in Albany.
It happened at the birthplace of
COVID.
It's an okay match for a house show. Yeah.
Same venue.
Same venue, yeah. The
I expect to hear that phrase more than once about this card, I'm assuming.
Yes. At least once.
Yeah, more than once, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's TNA. I just assume I run the shit. You give the stats I pointed out. It gives you a break, and is that, you know what I mean? Like
that's what I said. Go ahead. Fine.
That's why I get to sit here for once. Yeah, just not do much of anything.
Opening comment. Anybody watch the pre-show?
No. Fuck that.
Rhino defeated PKS, the new FBI. They're not the new FBI, but they're the FBI. But it's the new FBI. Of Ray Zaz and Zach Clayton with Guido. Defeated Barati, O'Brien, and Komada. And Laredo Kid successfully defended the TNA Digital Media Championship against KC Navarro.
That's interesting.
So, really TNA sounding pre-show.
Yeah.
Very much.
It's funny because Guido still gets booked here and there. So I wonder if he's bringing them with him.
But if you're watching the weekly product, you'll see that he's coming out and he's introduced, like he's putting them over first when he introduced them, then he puts himself over at the end as the original. Okay. He still look like he's like my buddy Skiffy. My buddy Skiffy's in his fucking 50s and he looks like he's 30. And Guido's like that. It don't look like much age has touched Guido at all. So like it's cool that way. Right. We did open the show. Hey Ryan, I like tag team matches. Other Ryan, you like tag team matches? I do like tag team matches.
Yo, dog, I heard you like tag team matches.
This isn't going to work.
Josh Alexander and Eric Young face Steve Macklin and Frankie Kazarian. Fat man. Usually you have the stats ready.
All right, you just have Fat Man. I thought you're normally Fat Man stats. 12 minutes and 29 seconds. Christian Thompson of TJR Wrestling, he gave this 3.5 stars.
As the tag team guy will open, I thought this was a great little opener. Probably should have been later in the card, but personally, I think I don't like the Frankie Kazarian Eric Young feud. I just think it's been weird. Like, I get they're both originals, and like they've been fucking there forever, and they didn't have a bad match. It seems out of place. That's all. And Macklin and Frankie Kazarian, no matter how many times they're going to team up or be like buddies or friends, just seems weird. Go back to SCU. Like, get fired from AEW and then come back so SCU can come back as a tag. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't hate the match. That was a great little opener, but it's just there's too many weird aspects for me to be like, but that's just I digress. So we'll Oreo it. We'll always put Sleazy in the middle since you don't watch anything. Like, Sleazy.
I like being the cream center. Wait. Maybe I don't. 4 stars.
Fat man.
He went away. He went away.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We already did that bit once in the show. No,
Yeah,
4 stars.
to get you on it.
How many stars?
It worked
Sorry.
perfectly. 4 stars. It was great. I thought it was a great way to open the show. I disagree with
Fat man 4-star in a Josh Alexander match.
right. Full on Josh Alexandering it here. No, I thought it was nice a way to get Eric Young a little bit of comeuppance. I think I think you're right with the fact that the Eric Young Kazarian thing's kind of run its course. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. I don't know. I think they just need to be as far away from each other for a while, just in general. So
I think they're saving it for Slammiversary.
that's possible. Yeah.
I think they brought back Eric Young from the dead, and they should have teamed him with PCO.
Fair.
Yeah, that would have been.
And they're Canadian. Can you imagine a new Team Canada, but like Team Zombie?
Well, you already got 2/3 of Team Canada here with Josh there, right?
He's Canadian, but he wasn't Team Canada.
Well, that's my point, is that he becomes the face of the new Team Canada. So, I mean, that's what I think. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe Eric Young being the head of the new Team Canada with Josh Alexander and PCO and, I don't know, returning Petey Williams.
Yeah, you're not going to get Petey. He's an agent in WWE.
Yeah, I know, but I can.
And he ain't doing nothing to get fired behind the scenes. Fuck that. He knows
You're
better.
right? Yeah.
Batman.
Smart motherfucker.
I think for the first time ever, I didn't rate a Josh Alexander match 4 stars or higher.
It was like 3.5 or 3.75.
I gave it 3.
Wow.
I know he's only doing that because he told Josh Alexander to his face that it was.
Yeah, exactly. No.
He had to give him a low one.
Yeah, I thought it was a good opener. I thought they underperformed. I thought this could have been better, and you're right. It weird. Like, the team's weird.
Off. Like, and not
just the whole match seemed not like the whole match seemed off, but like not in a bad way, but in like this is weird. Like, weird.
These guys should have been in singles matches.
Yes.
And any combination of the 4 in a singles match would have been fucking great. You have what? 3 former world champions in this match, and plus somebody who, by all intents and purposes, should have been a world champion. Maybe even should have been a world champion over Alex Shelley.
Yeah. Yes.
I even hate to bring this match up because it was fucking bad. Just like styles don't click. Ash by Elegance with the personal concierge defeat versus Havoc with Rosemary. Fat man cracked the stats.
5 minutes, 22 seconds, which felt like forever. Christian Thompson gave this a dud.
I hate duds because you're going out and you're doing the work. Regardless, even if it's shitty work and it just doesn't come across right, I don't mind Havoc. Dana Brooke shouldn't be fighting Havoc. Personally, to me. And I know I'm taking it over, and I know Sleazy's a women's wrestling enthusiast, but I couldn't put him because he has to be in the middle. But yeah, like Dana Brooke should be higher up in the card. Dana Brooke has the Fed stink on it. And that's not a bad way to say it. It's like, but she knows how to work a match. She knows all this extra shit. Like a brain like hers being in the Fed for so long should be beneficial here. I just think, like Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, I just don't think they didn't click with each other. Not style-wise, because like we've seen Dana Brooke get beat up by big people, and we've seen Havoc work smaller people in a sense. It's just, I don't think they had mojo together. Sleazy.
Okay. I'm not going to give it a dud because okay. People who are going to give this a dud, aka the one up there,
Dickhead.
right? It was a 5-minute match, but the reality was it was. I can't read it.
It says dud.
Oh, I know. I figured you'd say dud. But the reality is that the match wasn't meant to be anything. You could tell that they were planning on doing comedy spots, doing, just garbage because they wanted to protect both in the match. Obviously, it ended up with a roll up. So there was a reasoning behind why they did it. Is this her first actual match on pay-per-view?
No.
No.
On pay-per-view, maybe. Again, that's just kind of rushing the brain here.
She definitely has had matches on weeklies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but I don't watch the product, so. But in terms of actual on the bigger stage, so to speak, special event, this is her first, right? I would assume. It just felt like it was just a hacky comedy match, and that's fine, I guess. Especially when
it's fine.
It's fine.
Not a steady piece of shit.
It's not. I'm trying to tiptoe around the fact that I think they did this for a reason, and the reason was they didn't want either one to go over strong. Because obviously Ash is going to go on and probably challenge for the TNA championship, and Havoc's almost certainly going to go back for the tag titles again.
I was about to bring up that because I like looking these things up to just see, to look at it objectively with a kayfabe mind here. Mm-hmm. Ash by Allison's just picked up a victory over former Knockouts and 3-ton Knockouts tag team champion.
Yeah. And did it in such a way that works with the character, so to speak. So I can't give it a dud. I give it 1 star.
Come on, dud me, fat man.
100% over a piece of shit. I've opened my mind up to comedy matches and being like, they're not for me, but I see the appeal. This was a comedy match that wasn't funny. It was bad. Everything was bad. The wrestling, bad. The comedy, bad. Everything in this match was bad. Like, even like the roll-up was bad. Like, the timing was bad. Everything was bad. Like, everything was bad. There's no redeeming quality in this. This is why it's a dud.
Yeah, like I said, and it's shitty because we don't very rarely rate anything in TNA bad.
This was
a dud. I get you can say it a couple more times, but I understand how you take that feel.
It was a DUD because of Dana Brooke with her anyway, but still.
That's a bad boob job if there's a U space in between your 2 double Ds.
I'll be in them. Me. You will be in them. There you go. How about that?
No, and then that's all I'm talking this up to. That though they didn't click.
They
It
didn't
happens in wrestling.
It does, but this
We might see it later on in this card. Who knows?
Wait, does that make me the you?
You are the
Wow.
you between me and
Wow.
Ryan. Yes, you're the meat to our sandwich. Get used to it.
And in a completely different aspect on how 5 minutes can be entertaining in a match, Zachary Wentz versus Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
You know, eventually
That
we'll
match.
get that in sync.
How
5 minutes-
fast did
5
he win
minutes
his
and 13 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this an okay match for a house show.
right off the bat, that's stupid on this guy because realistically, 5 minute matches outside of we were more pumped for Joe Henry. There wasn't really much of a difference. Yes, the match was considerably more out of sync.
At least they did one wrestling move right. At least one, which makes it considerably better. Yes. There's a way difference between this and the other match.
It was nice to get Joe Hendry away from the boys for a little bit. Like, I know they're still going to be feuding and stuff, but it was nice to see that little bit of, these are good guys. Like, if it's going to connect with the Rascals later on, but it was just, okay, Joe Hendry, you've been fighting AJ and dealing with AJ Francis for so long. Now here's just something different.
Yeah.
Right? And Zachary Wentz is a good name. He's a good talent. He knows what to do in the ring, especially being half young. So everything clicked a lot better on this one. I also think my taste in my mouth is a bit more better to this one compared to the match that previously happened. Sleazy.
2 stars. It was fine. I think I'm not sure if this was a legit mistake or it was like a work, but having Zachary Wentz come out, but well, it's always a work, right?
No, Bruins are going to blow the lead in the game. That's fine.
Oh, shocker. Wow, really? Boston? A
Whatever.
team that destroys?
We've only had the lead in every game this series and won one, but that's okay. Go ahead.
No, the whole bit where she says, by the way, Jade, I love the ring announcing in TNA. Just saying.
Mark.
Having Zachary Wentz come out without Trey was interesting. But yeah, 2 stars. It was fine for 5 minutes. Whatever. It seemed like a TV match. Like something you'd find on a weekly. In my opinion.
Because this is in the home of It's an Okay Match for a House Show. This was
2 stars.
an okay match for a house show.
Damn. If only I knew he was going that route.
Oh, yeah. That was like
I wonder if I did. Yeah, like I didn't like say that already.
Not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
Yeah. But yeah.
Riveting inputs.
Yes. I mean, here's the thing. I believe in Joe Hendry. That's all you need to know.
And I think, again, that's for me, too. Like, Joe Hendry is moreover, anybody listening live, anybody listening when he comes out, you haven't gotten to all your fucking streaming services to go get I Believe in Joe Hendry on your playlist and play the shit out of it. This song
literally listened to
never
this
win.
The whole way ride to work. Like,
it should have never jumped. And some of the banger songs that he's got, mind you, and this is the one that he gets popular for.
Right?
I'm Drew fucking kills me.
Oh, I'm Drew's great.
I'm Drew is fucking fantastic.
Goodness.
Now we go from that to, oh my God, Sleazy. Me and you both should love this match. It's a tag team ladies match.
Yo, dog, I heard you like tag team matches.
Yo, dog, I heard you're a women wrestling enthusiasto.
I am that. For sure.
Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovitz fight Danny Luna and Jody Threat for the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships. Stats.
6 minutes and 30 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 2 stars.
That's man.
I agree.
Are you questioning it?
I love Burgundy. Like, I don't know. I'll pull a sleazy. It was fine, even though it wasn't. It was a match. It was meh. I mean,
better than the previous women match we saw.
100%,
Yeah.
or 200% based on my ratings. But we all knew the outcome was going to be that, but it was fine. It just was there.
Okay.
Cool. Like, it was less than okay, but whatever.
Oh, I was shocked that the title changed hands because they are hot potatoing the fuck out of these belts.
Yes.
They are.
That's true.
Sleazy.
Okay. I really like this. For 6 minutes, it was really thrown together well. I gave it 3.5 stars.
You overrating piece of shit.
I was like,
as soon as you said 3, it didn't matter what was following. He was going to lose his goddamn mind.
I really liked it. I thought it showcased everyone in the ring well for what it was. I mean, once again, 6 minutes, 6.5 minute match. It showcased them. They didn't have to go long. Alicia didn't fall over herself multiple times in the match. It was great.
It is the 4th Knockouts tag team title change this year. MK Ultra won it July 15, 2023. Lost it to Decay January 13th. Lost it back to MK Ultra February 23rd. Who 14 days later lost it to Spitfire. Spitfire's had the belts for 56 days, and now Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich, again, this is all as of recording, has been champions for 10 days now.
Wow.
So I call it hot shotting, but like,
I mean, at least it's better than some other titles in wrestling where like there's a 300-day champion because 200 days it sat in their bag.
you leave Shane McMahon's European Championship reign alone.
Right? Or Stephanie McMahon's Women's Championship reign.
That was a fucking great reign.
Yeah.
That's like, side note, nobody should ever complain about Drew McIntyre's most recent reign. No bad matches. Wasn't over. Like, it didn't go on too long.
Didn't go too long.
Crowd didn't turn. Okay. Then we'll go back. Next match.
There was no bangers after bangers, though. Just one banger.
Speaking of something I might eat a little shit on. Speaking of bangers, Jake something versus Rich Swann. Batman? Bang the stuff.
11 minutes and 32 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 1 star as the whole.
I think he's a fucking idiot.
As a whole.
I think this was a lot better than what people expected it was going to be. You look at it with a former world champion and somebody. I think Ron Kidd died. I think Jake something should have won, if anything, to give him a little push of beating a former world champion, but it was fine. Sleazy.
I think this.
That's a good start.
It was fun though. I liked it. Again, I mean, I gave it an okay match for a house show, but
As a whole.
Yes,
and I'll preface this to everybody. This turned in from a singles match to a tag team match. Like,
right.
It was all like tangly and stuff like that. So, like, as a whole,
right, and this was partially because. So, who was actually injured? Who wasn't
Hammerstone?
Hammerstone was injured, right? Okay.
Yep.
Wasn't Laredo Kid supposed to be on here? In this spot.
I don't think so.
I thought it was
Maybe.
like Swan and Laredo Kid at one point. I don't.
Jake something and Hammerstone.
it was supposed to be something at Hammerstone.
Yeah, but wasn't Rich Swann and Laredo Kid also supposed to work?
Yes, but I think that kind of switched into what the pre-show happened.
Right.
Because I think that was the tangle around.
Right. Okay. So that's okay. So yeah, it was a fun little match. I liked it. It wasn't bad. It was just 12 minutes of fun shit going on.
Batman?
I also gave it an okay match for a house show as a whole. I mean, when they turned it into a tag team match, I'm like, Diener's eating that pin. Yes!
Tie game.
Nope. Went from a tie game to a 1-goal lead. It went. I was thinking Diener's 100% taking that pin, and yet Schwann pinned something. Why just keep it a one-on-one match?
If that's what you're going to do with it, anyways.
Yeah, it was kind of just like that. Okay, sure. I don't. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just so
riveting.
I'm still going
commentary.
like I just don't understand why they did it. Like that's the thing. Like
I actually agree with you. To be fair,
like like okay, I thought it was gonna be AJ Francis pinning Diener, but then there was no point. There's literally no point. So it was just.
Can you imagine? It's Diener, the one that they were like, yeah, let's protect him.
Right.
Gotta protect Diener.
During the match, commentary was all like, oh, Jake something's been like a force. He's kicked out of everything, like 30 billion finishers, and then he eats one and loses. It's just like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to give me a minute. Because as we talk about this next match, I have to just do YouTube it again. Because that is what was missing for me, I think, from him.
Turning into an actual octopus?
Yes! Kushida versus Jonathan Gresham. Fat man, octopusy us the stats.
9 minutes and 4 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this. Oh, I didn't write it down. 3 stars. Sorry.
I've been very vocal of my dislike for Jonathan Gresham. And it's not anything that, and I never take away from his wrestling ability because I will give the devil his fucking dues. He's good at wrestling. It's just, I think the COVID period hurt him because he didn't grow anymore. And then when fans came back, it was still the same COVID wrestling. Wasn't really a character. There wasn't really, like, fantastic, you can fucking wrestle, but if you can't entertain me too while you're wrestling, I got no time for it. And that's a personal preference to me. I get hindsight. Lance Storm's a great wrestler. In ECW, it didn't matter to me because they were doing all the fucking shit. There was an angle. Other places, they just didn't treat him because they didn't know how to work with this. This, to me, Jonathan Gresham is finally a fucking octopus. Let's fucking go. You can laugh all you want, but as soon as that sounds like...
it's just... I know Slee's supposed to be in the middle, but I want to go next.
Go for it.
The match is good, but is Grisham actually turning into an octopus? Like, that's from my notes. I'm like...
I'm telling you, it's just fucking fantastic.
3 stars. 3 stars. It was a good match, but I'm just like... I'm like... funny thing is, I thought you were going to say he got more boring because he was more methodical instead of just like doing.
But that's fine for that style of wrestler that he is.
It is because I was going to counterpoint and say now he's an octopus, he has to go slower.
But he has 8 legs; he can go faster now.
Oh my god! Can you think of the octopus stretches he can now hit? Go, Sleazy.
How do I go after these two? Here's the thing.
Oh God!
Right?
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. I have in my notes Kushida versus Papa Shango. You're right. No, I agree with both of you in the fact that there's one big thing missing with Jonathan Gresham, and that's a true character trait. Now, he's been dabbling as the octopus forever, right? He's had that big fucking ridiculous mask that he comes down in the ring for 4 years, 5 years, maybe even longer. So him kind of switching it up and doing the whole black mask thing, it's interesting. I like it. I think it gives another flavor to his character that's absolutely sorely missing. So I'm more than happy to see where this goes. The match itself, once again, it felt like a TV match. It wasn't bad, but it just felt like something you'd find on a weekly again. And I gave it an okay match for a house show.
I don't think we can put over the octopus stuff enough.
I mean,
as soon as it sounds, I really don't like
Mr. Octopussy over here.
Seth Rollins. And I that's another way to think about it too. Seth Rollins in the Shield, and then just watch his progression, how his character has evolved just from that of knowing, of the visionary, of being pretty much Jesus Christ, to being the Joker, like all of the stuff that he does is always there's an evolution. If this is what it takes, give me that evolution of Jonathan Gresham, right?
Yeah.
Like
It's needed.
when your wife has a bigger dick than you do, you got to do something to stand out.
I mean,
Sleazy knows. Anyway,
Um,
oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
I love that I threw intergender wrestling into the draft that we did because the next match, Sleazy is also a fan of myself and yours with the multiple things.
oh yeah.
Jordan Grace and PCO versus Steph DeLander and Khan in an intergender tag team match. How long did they tag team the intergenders, Fat Man?
10 minutes and 58 seconds. Christian Thompson gave us 3 1/4.
Fat Man.
I thought it was a good match. I was entertained by it.
I'm shocked. I'm really surprised.
Really?
This was a fun fucking match.
It was really fun. Yeah.
It was like, thinking back to it, I just know like some spots like normally this shit would like irritate you. Like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised that this was a fun match for you. I'm just shocked by it. That's all. I'm taken back.
Yeah, it was fun.
You watched it when he was happier.
I'm trying to think of what I did.
See?
Because I broke this up into 3 sections.
Oh, there you go.
Well, not this match, the card, because I started watching it.
He's like, I needed 3 minutes, and then that was it. I waited, gave it a day, came back, watched the next 3 minutes,
So
waited 2 more days, watched the finish, and I loved it.
No. So, pretty much the first 30 minutes I watched for my girlfriend's birthday, then she came over, we did her birthday stuff. The next hour, I watched the day before. Sex, there you go. And then, you don't need, I'll say it. We fucked.
The things we've said on this podcast, and you had to do a visual tongue licking in between your fucking fat sausage vagina fingers?
Yeah.
First of all, it brings out the warmth more.
Of what?
This
You're
is an
still
audio
the-
podcast.
Clearly-
Not visual.
It's an audio podcast, it's visually, so it brings out the warmth of whatever. Anyway, and then I watched the rest of the show the next day. Anyway, this was fun. This was a fun match. I liked it. 3 stars. Yeah.
Sleazy.
Loved it. 4 stars,
Overrated piece of shit.
of course.
Nah, you're nuts. And as much as I hate saying people are nuts for under and overrating and stuff, but like, if I was to put a star rating on this, I'd be closer to Sleazy's than I would be yours because I love shit like this. This opens people's minds.
Yeah.
And, like, this stuff don't happen, so you get that aspect of, oh, this is different. Oh, that's, you don't see that more, like, in terms of a full fucking match anymore. I like that TNA are essentially pushing the boundary with this.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And I love the dynamic of Khan and PCO in general. They remind me of Dijak and Keith Lee in the fact that by themselves, they were okay to good, but together they just make magic. And this is another great example of that. I thought they did a really good job. Steph and Jordan also did a great job. I loved, even at the beginning where Jordan's, defibrillating PCO to get him back up, shit like that. Stupid, ridiculous. Love that shit. Fucking love that.
Shouldn't be over.
And yet it is. So.
I think that Steph and Jordan Grace have fucking wicked chemistry together. And they should run this all the way to Slammiversary or Bound for Glory. I'm trying to place on Slammiversary should be the next one in June.
Yep.
Yeah, they should run that, dude. You get so much out of this.
Yeah, Against All Odds is at the end of June. I think Slammiversary is middle of July.
Right, and that's a big show for them. Their anniversary show for all intents and purposes. I think they could run the two at the end of that, and with their weeklies, so easy. They don't got to be at each other. And how so many people, and like Swerve Strickland did with the AEW title, going back to their home provinces. The fact that everybody is so open to indies outside of WWE for the most part, like you could have these guys fucking around. Can you imagine Jordan Gray showing up in GCW?
Yeah, I can actually think of it. Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's happened before, but now the Knockouts champion feuding with
No,
Steph,
I can imagine that 100%. I can see that happening.
right?
Yeah.
There's so much they can do with the two of them, and like they're big on, and Steph's big on X on social media.
Yeah.
Shit around stuff, and Jordan Grace outside of her OnlyFans, like, you know what I mean? She also posts and takes her shit. So like, the world we live in with the social media stuff, I think is great for them. I think this match is just going to help build on it, and they had a fantastic little brouhaha.
100%.
Co-main event of the evening for the X Division Championship. Ace Austin and Mustafa Ali. Fat Man, X those stats.
16 minutes and 33 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 3.5 stars.
That match did not feel that long. You can go, Fat Man, but that match didn't feel like that. Seems like a long time.
It didn't feel like it went that long, which is kind of a good thing. 4 stars. I mean, I really liked it. Mustafa Ali's doing career work. Ace Austin. I love the psychology in this match too. Loved it.
Ace Austin's a hidden gem, has been not locked in TNA for a while, and I'm saying Ace Austin's praises forever, especially with the ABC Club and all that shit. Mm-hmm. And even the weeklies of them trying to take the belt off Mustafa has been fucking great. And I'll second that. This is why it's a shame they got rid of the Cruiserweight title in WWE.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Like names like Mustafa Ali, who could have ran with that. You didn't have to make it its own brand. It could have stayed in NXT. And could have floated around NXT UK or NXT Japan or NXT fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the sewers. Like, whatever NXT name they're going to slap it on. Like,
well, they did.
They lost them and it's sad, but I think overall you're going to see. I think of it, when you look at Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio when they were in WCW, how fucking tiny they were. And then they met their friend Harry Steroid. And then WWE, they were super jacked. That is the career path I'd like to see for Mustafa Ali. Not necessarily the steroids, but he's got everything except he's small. Like, not short small, but like small.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's just small. And I think that a great run for him would be do your due diligence, do your Cody Drew run, come back with a little bit of size, and the U.S. title's right there, buddy. Speed title. You can be a double champ. Easy.
Learn a new hold. Yeah, technically speaking, it was unified with the North American Championship. So I guess it's still around, kind of.
But it was retired, sir.
It was retired. It's sad. Here. Okay, let me start with the rating because I think it's going to piss off Fat Man. 4.5 stars. And because I also want to... Thank you. That was the other bit, is I wanted to make sure I got that in.
Doesn't piss me off at all.
My only complaint of the match...
This is fucking stupid.
Well, it's too much interference.
Absolutely stupid. I can see it already.
Yeah, it's too much interference, in my opinion.
So he doesn't watch the weeklies. Got it.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
It doesn't to me because I don't watch this product.
Yeah, I know, but even still, in terms of watching it and seeing that's how the Secret Service has been doing
that's
it.
Fine.
It's the Secret Service. You give them fucking respect first off.
First of all,
you know what they kind of reminded me of? They kind of remind me of like, yes, I was going to say JJ's security off Wish. Is what I was going to say.
No, because they're better than J&J security. Because when they fuck up, you don't have the judgmental of why the fuck is the former Ring of Honor World Champion doing that shit.
Okay.
Right? You see these guys and you're like, okay, that's fine. You can be jobbers, but I can be believable that you're strong jobbers. Jamie Noble, former world champion. What are you doing? You fucking... It's like It's like they accidentally went and got Pat Patterson, Jared Briscoe, and redid it for J&J Security. Yeah. So, like, it was like the continuity of McMahon's having bitches. They just decided to go with, these were the good guys that we could get at this time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The suplexed out of the ring. That's all I can say about that. God damn.
Main event time. 6-man.
Wow.
What?
Didn't you rate the match?
I told you I loved the match. I told you it was good. I think everything was fine. Mustafa Ali is being wasted essentially in TNA because they don't have the cruiserweight title.
I disagree. I disagree with that because I think that TNA desperately needed somebody to really come in and hold the reins, so to speak. That because they keep missing out on a lot of the top. Let's be frank here. Nick Namath does not need to be in TNA, and I don't think he fits there either. Mustafa Ali, on the other hand, could easily be TNA World Champion literally next week.
Wow. Worst part about it is, if you're watching the weeklies and seeing his gimmick, that's the absolute fucking place they need to go with this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I get the window is the X division, but like I hate that you don't watch the weeklies because that's such a fucking spot on comment to say, you piece of shit. I hope you step on a Lego.
It's how I feel. That's what I see. And I can't not say that.
I can't not say a lot of things, but you tell me there's a big 3, so like. I'm going just before I got to look it up and exactly how fucking the names were said because it popped me so big.
Oh, I got him.
You got it? Okay.
I got him.
So I'll say the regular shit and you give me the names after. So it was the system of Moose, Brian Myers, and Eddie Edwards with Alicia Edwards took on the team of the
Broken Matt Hardy, Ball of Speed, Mike Bailey, and Trent the Seventh.
I personally still like Mike Ball, Speed Bailey, but that was really fucking good.
Yep. Yes.
So
Ball
speed up the ball on the mountain of stats in Brokenville.
It is 23 minutes and 49 seconds. Christian Thompson gave this 3.5 stars.
I'll start off with a simple question for you, Fat Man, because you watch a bit more than Sleazy. Did Dolph Ziggler not be in this match hurt it or help it?
I think I heard it a little bit. I still think this was a great match, but I think it hurt it a little bit.
The surprise factor of adding Hardy to me showed it was a loss of a big name and essentially a return of a big name. So it kept it even for me.
If you're going to replace a big name, you got to replace it with only equal or greater value. And I think, everyone especially TNA diehards love Broken Matt Hardy. It was a great replacement. And he didn't seem out of place there either. So Sleazy's talking about I think Matt Hardy belongs in TNA. Maybe it's a step down for him, but as much as I hate the Broken Universe, that's the perfect gimmick for him in the perfect spot. It really is.
TNA is where that thing thrived.
Yes. I again, not my cup of tea, but that's the perfect place for him. 4.25. Thought it was a match of the night. I think the right kids died. I think
Bloodline had to win here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think you had to have the system win here. So
I was trying to think of a funnier name that incorporated iPhone into the Bloodline, and I just couldn't come up with it.
The iOS system.
I'll that's what we're going with for now. Sleazy.
Wow. 4 stars. I thought this was a great 6-man.
Loves them trios.
I love trios matches. I really do.
They're fun. They're a tag team match, but on steroids. They're fun.
Yeah. I always like it when you've got one partner off and the third one's like, I'm the only one left. Go on, go for it. Type of thing, Like fighting spirit, that shit, I gotta take them all 3-on-1s. Yeah, Bloodline's gotta win here.
Bloodline's got a bloodline.
Right. Okay, first and foremost, Nick Namath didn't make this show because he was doing a New Japan show, right? There's a reason why he wasn't on this show. That wasn't an injury.
I
I want to say maybe I'm incorrect in that, but
oh god, Mr. Lash LaRue guy's back.
Hey,
respect on Lash LaRue. Wow, goddamn.
You want to respect him, but he can't even pronounce his name right.
How do you
Nemeth defeated Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the show over New Japan, yeah.
Yeah, I remember him going somewhere, but I wasn't sure if it was New Japan or if it was the AAA one. Because he won the AAA championship.
Yeah, he's doing his own belt collector shit.
Yeah, so like in the grand line of belt collectors such as
Dan Severn, Kenny Omega,
Jushin Thunder,
Matt Cardona,
Ultimo Dragon,
Ultimo
Dragon.
The most prolific one. Mm-hmm. Nobody's
Absolutely.
touching it. I'll shout out Austin Aries because he had it for a little bit. He had like 4 or 5 belts.
Yeah.
Came out for a rando fucking Ring of Honor match, wanted it, and then didn't do anything because Austin Aries is Austin Aries. But yeah, here's my problem with the match. And no, not the problem with the match. Problem with the people in the match. I know Matt Hardy is a big deal. I know he's almost above this at this point. Fat Man's right in the fact that TNA should be his home. But him being, I dare say, the third to an established tag team like Speedball Mountain feels kind of weird. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like a... it's hard for me to say why he just doesn't feel like he fits there. You know what I mean? He was just put in there just because he's Matt Hardy and throw him in the main event.
Exactly why, yeah. That's the exact reason why he's there.
Yeah, exactly. But it feels like it too. There's nothing organic about it. And once again, that might be because I don't watch the weeklies. I didn't get invested into, Matt Hardy teaming with them and blah, 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 blah. But it just feels like it's a weird shift to the left for a person that literally created an entire character in TNA that was completely different than anything else that anyone's ever seen up to that point.
The only downfall with Matt Hardy being broken in TNA is Scott Borash isn't there. Because he was big on the Broken Universe, and now he's over WWE. And Hardy didn't do so much.
Yeah, Jeremy Borash, right?
Jeremy Borash, yeah.
Scott D'Amore, Jeremy Borash, they're all the same. Them Canadians, they all look alike.
Have you ever seen them in the same place at the same time?
Facts. But you know what I mean? Like, he was a big proponent to it, the universe as well. Like, now you got Hardy on Free Reign, which is possibly good, but possibly not. The 6-man as a whole was fucking fantastic, and I love fucking nonsense like that. And Bloodline's got a bloodline. It's going to be funny to see who's going to take them down because they have now won up Bloodline in terms of they now got women's belts with them, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fat Man, as a whole, how was the show?
I give it a 6 out of 10. It's a step down for a TNA big show, but it still has some moments. Still TNA.
Sleazy?
I agree with the assessment, but I also disagree with the number. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Wow. So it was an okay pay-per-view for a house show.
Yes, it was.
Wasn't up to TNA standards that we're normally used to, but when you're putting out so many shows, I'm going to be a TNA apologetic fucking person here. When you're putting out that many shows, you're going to have an off show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Opened hot, ended hot. Surprise title changes. There was enough on this show that would want people to... You can't miss a TNA show, even if it's not that best, because something's going to happen.
Yep.
And we're done. I mean, the only other thing I have to run is the King of Ring segment.
Go ahead.
Yes, go for it.
Before I do
I have our complete results from the end of round 1. On the men's side, for the end of round 1, we had Heavy G and Fat Man, ended with 7 points of a possible 8. Chris, Dietz, Sleazy had 5, and myself and Al had 6. Now, since the second round has started with the Gunther thing, basically everybody but Sleazy got points. I had 4, which jumped me up to 10. Deets added 2 to put him to 7. Heavy G added 2, put him to 9. Fat Man had 2, put him to 9. Chris
My
had
winner's
2.
out, though.
What?
My winner's out.
Who'd you have winning again?
Dragunov.
Right. That's going to hurt you.
Yep.
And then Al also had 4 with Gunther and Jay. There's a couple of people like, because I'm more inclined about the men's one because I have everybody's for the men's, like everybody's was in before it all straightened up. For me, I still have Gunther winning. Sleazy has LA Knight winning, but he had Sheamus and Dragunov in the semifinals, so like he needs Knight to win to get him some points.
Yeah.
Heavy G had Dragunov Knight in the finals, same kind of deal. Fat Man had Dragunov Knight in the finals, so at least you get Knight going, you might get some extra points on the way.
Yeah.
DT himself had Knight beating Sheamus, so DT's on the run. Chris had Dragunov versus Tamatanga as his final.
Ooh.
And Al had Gunther and LA Knight as his final. For the men's, anyways. Now, the women's has been a jumbled fucking mess since we started it.
Yeah.
There's been hiccups and all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
Coming out of the women's round, Al actually went a perfect 8-0 in the opening round, even with everything they kind of fucked around with. Chris, Fat
Fuck!
Man,
Hey! Wait a second. Fuck Al Barrett.
No.
Hashtag.
Thank you.
Fuck Al Barrett. Thank you.
I wonder if he's out of a ringer.
Chris, Fat Man, Deets, and myself all had 7 out of 8 correct, with Sleazy having 6. Heavy G fucked up and don't know how the internet works, so didn't give me half his picks. So he only took 3 points in the first round. Round 2 is coming from
That's
Rob.
literally my only hope for not getting last right now, by the way.
Sleazy and Deets received 0 points Monday night on Raw on the women's side. Myself and Chris took 4 points as we both had Io Shirai and Live Valkyrie. I had even debated with Sleazy about this to explain to everybody, the second round got so fucked for us because the women's brackets kept changing and kept moving around with us that nobody really had anything concrete until Monday before the second round started of how the rest of the tournament was going to go. Like, everybody's was fucked. Fat Man had Selena Vega winning from the beginning. Like, and she was pulled out before her first round match. So, like, everything got totally fucked trying to do the women's side of this.
Well, I was going to originally do Asuka, too. So there was that.
Asuka had mine. Asuka was my queen of the ring the whole way through. And then Asuka got pulled. Mid-show, mind you.
Yeah.
We didn't even know. Like, but to add on to the round 2 points so far from the Raw side, I jumped up to 11. Chris jumped up to 11. Al is at 10. Fat Man's at 9. Heavy G is at a big whopping 5.
Wait, where am I?
Oh, Sleazy, you had 0 points so far. You have 7 points from the first round, so you have a total of 7 points.
So I got 2 more than Heavy G.
Yeah, a Heavy G got points on Raw. I'll tell you how bad that was.
Right?
For the most part, the men's side of us is really funny because Randy Orton broke everybody's bracket.
Yeah.
And every time Randy Orton fights somebody and beats somebody, if it's anybody we got picked, like, it just takes points from us. It looks like it's going to be a fun finish because as it's going, there's still a bit of changes here and there. So as we update next week at the end of round 2 into the basically finals of the Raw side, we'll know. We'll see how close we are to everybody else.
Yeah.
I'll be interested.
Okay, let's jump into some news and rumors here. Let's talk about WrestleMania next year, which we talked about extensively. Sleazy will talk off air about some stuff, but anyway. WWE recently announced blah, blah, blah. Apparently, the Las Vegas Visitors Authority approved a $5 million sponsorship fee to host WrestleMania 41.
Cool.
Jesus.
Get that fucking bag.
Get that money, right? Fuck.
Right?
So,
WWE's terrible,
it's
though. They're
believed
never
that
going to survive.
PLEs
Right?
paid WWE in Australia paid $50 million for Elimination Chamber. Puerto Rico paid 1.8. Clash of the Castle 22.2. They got $3 million, and Tampa got $500,000 for the Royal Rumble. Cool.
And this is why the Rumble's going to start traveling.
Oh yeah, Rumble's 100% going to start.
Mania's not going to travel. Maybe not SummerSlam.
Sleazy, you kind of hit the nail on the head last week when you talked about why Easter weekend. Traditionally, WWE has avoided Easter holiday since it proved to be a weak weekend for travel tourism. Ironically, this is the very reason Vegas wanted to host it.
Yeah.
Vegas is it shocked me it took so long to put as any sports team down there, but putting the Golden Knight Center, because it is a thing of money. Like, there's going to be people that go to sporting events regardless, just because it's in Vegas, just because they're in town, because Vegas is such a high traffic area.
Well,
I can tell you part of the reason why.
Well, the reason why they were very apprehensive to put a sports team, is this now becoming a sports podcast, is because gambling.
Bingo. 100% bingo. Nobody wanted to be associated with the town that's all about gambling in a major sports league. Nowadays, sportsbook, online sportsbooks are a thing now. Obviously, there's in-person sports books in places even like New York. New York, it's legal now. Not online poker, of course, but sportsbook is.
Yeah. So they built a new arena for the Golden Knights. They built a new stadium for the Raiders. Now they're underway building a new stadium for the A's. Mm-hmm. It's only a matter of time before a basketball team with their moves are getting an expansion team there. Like, it's just a matter of time. It's becoming a major league city. Well, it already is a major league city.
Again, same thing. It just shocked me it took so long for professional sports to go down there. In terms of, like, same with, right, like, it's, to me, makes all the sense in the world of having wrestling events down there. Think of the fucking foot traffic for all those indie shows next year.
I'm casually excited.
Well,
casually.
Well, Sleazy will know better than I have, because I've never really been into Vegas.
Yeah.
Is that all these little hotels and casinos hold little convention centers and theaters. There's a lot of venues to book.
Absolutely. And now it's announced out so early. Just, to me alone, I was just thinking, the GCW shows.
Oh, they're going to hold them in Orleans. Without question.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Without question.
What's that? 8,000, 9,000 seats? 10,000? I mean, you think anything can. I mean, you could book. I mean, take or whatever. Stand and Deliver is probably going to be at T-Mobile. You could do MGM Grand that does 18,000. I mean, there's a Thomas and Mack Center that can do 18,000. I mean, there's so many venues that can host big events.
And more importantly, so many venues that can host smaller events.
Yes.
So every indie in the fucking world can come down there and grab a spot, so to speak.
Are we going to crown the first wrestling show heavyweight champion in our Fed? I'll fly down for that.
Sure.
Clearly, you're putting me over as the champion, but, like,
of course,
it's contractual details after.
Okay.
You do like every other major star, win the belt and then have to FedEx it back because he ain't coming back.
Fuck out! I'm not listening. That's why we didn't give Sabu the belt when we put him over.
Right. So have it today.
A year later, we just held another tournament. we vacated it.
So there's a possibility that WWE be moving back to Sundays because they're talking about UFC doing Saturdays. I don't think that's going to be the case. They're saying that they want
on Facebook, and I said if they're going to do that, it's for NXT shows because NXT shows are Sundays.
Yes,
that's a good idea.
And because they're like, well, what if UFC and WWE are in the same city? I don't think they should be in the same city on the same weekend, to be honest.
There's no need for it.
There's no need for it. So, like,
I digress. Absolutely, there should be a need for it because you got people from wrestling, you got people from UFC, and you got people from both that is going to put an injection into that town that weekend.
I would say.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say if it were Mania weekend, yes. If it's one of the big four, big five, yeah, that would make sense. I don't see that for a smaller show like a Backlash or a Clash of Champions or stuff like that.
But NXT, though.
NXT would be way more
Yes, because now you have your developmental brand running the same weekend as UFC. They're the same company, don't matter. But still, like
It picks NXT up.
Yes, it picks NXT up. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was saying that the long way around. I posted something in the chat about how
He killed himself.
He killed himself. Just absolutely wonderful. I don't know what happened.
That's amazing. We'll see. We'll see. There we go. That's amazing.
Done.
I hit the wrong back tab. I had 2 tabs open. I hit on that one. I posted something about how Detroit,
wouldn't even put himself over. Cut himself off.
Everyone got cut, bit off here. Drink. Yeah.
That Detroit could potentially host WrestleMania in 2027 for the 40th anniversary, 40th anniversary of WrestleMania 3, and in WrestleMania 23 the 20th. There's a problem. The Final Four is in Detroit. Yes, I know they're doing 2 weeks out, but will they have enough time to do a set, tear down the court? I think they will if they do
100% they would, especially if they're going to do it in Ford Field.
Yeah, that's where they'll be going. It's Ford Field.
Yeah, it took 5 days to do the set in Philly.
And everybody shit on that set at first, and then the set happened, and it was fucking deadly. And it wasn't nothing. Again, one of my most favorite Mania sets is because we were there. It was 29.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't remember seeing much of it because we're fucking behind it. Yeah.
I was on the opposite side. I got all of it.
So SmackDown will move to USA Network a couple weeks early. But the station's planning to move several episodes to FS1 due to college football, which is ultimately what's going to actually replace SmackDown will be college football. So WWE's like, well, if you're going to move us, why not just get rid of this earlier? And then you're like, sure. So USA agreed to debut the show on September 13th, which is a Friday, confirming that network's time does not plan on moving the show to a different day. So it looks like SmackDown will be
still on Friday.
Still on Fridays. According to
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
USA's decision to make SmackDown on Friday suggested it makes no sense at all for either the promotion or the network as airing on Friday night will cost the show up to approximately 20% reduction in viewership due to the day of the week. Overall, USA is paying more for SmackDown than they did for Raw, and airing the show on a worse night, getting only 2 hours instead of 3, will not see nearly as many viewers.
I just had a stroke while you read that. What is he trying to say?
That because they're going from network to cable again on a Friday night, so less people are going to watch anyway. And USA is paying more for the SmackDown rights than they were this time around than they were for the Raw rights last time around. That it makes no sense to have it on Friday.
So he's suggesting it's going to go on a different week.
He's suggesting as to why is it still on a Friday. He's questioning it.
Oh, he's questioning why it's still Friday.
Yeah.
I'd answer that question with it's a perfect run into Saturday pay-per-views.
Yes.
The go-home show the day before.
Yeah.
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Thank you.
The guy who doesn't know anything about the business, running about the business, of course.
How dare you tell me that?
I just did.
Oh, okay.
I think that's all I can find. Go ahead.
I have a preview for the Reddit episode next week. Also, doesn't Sleazy want to go off on Buddy about Sky Blue's ass?
Yeah.
About what?
About Sky Blue's ass.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Thank you for.
There's 2 things on that. There was something else that major happened within the last day or so. I can't remember what it was.
Nothing I see.
God damn it.
Danielson reveals his contract expires before All In.
No, it was. God damn it. Oh, that's what it was. LA Knight thing. One of the matches of the King of the Ring. Because I wanted to talk about this. One of the matches of the King of the Ring was held at a live show. And people were getting all pissy about it because, oh, it's a real match, and why should it be at a house show, and blah, 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 blah. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I like it.
Makes house shows more important.
Yes.
Right?
Like when you get that rare title change at a house show. I've always loved, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen in WWE.
Yeah,
it's a change of philosophy because 99.9% of the house shows are just, we call matches house showy because they're fun matches for the live crowd and nothing of consequence happens. To make these matches feel important, to have stakes, it makes them different. It makes them must go to. So
right.
It's a business strategy, and I like it.
And honestly speaking, if there's going to be like something that major happens, what a better way to get the phones out and show it on social media and so on and so forth. What better way to have interactions with your fans than showing this weird rare thing happened at a live show and I was there personally to see it. I must show all my friends that this happened. You know, it's a great marketing strategy, and you're absolutely right. And there were people out there that are bitching and complaining about it. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you idiots? It's like,
as I was there to witness one live, pull off a cash in at a house show.
Goddamn, pal.
I was there for the Raw for Ziggler, which is one of the biggest pops.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you really want to shock people?
Yeah, that would be good. That would be real good.
One of the rare things that is still talked about to this day about professional wrestling is Diesel beating Bob Backlund in 8 seconds for the WWF title.
At a house show.
At a house show.
Yes, in New York. That's the king of the house shows. But still.
Okay, I found a little bit more news here. WWE is headed to Scotland for a clash at the Castle next month. And apparently, people in Scotland are very frustrated over the extortionary prices of these. According to the story, the cheapest seat is €300, which is with premium seats more than €200. Based on current exchange rates, it will equal approximately $375 as the cheapest ticket, and $2,600 for the premium seats. The article shares quotes from fans, many of whom indicated they will not be able to afford attending the event in person and will instead be regulated to watching the show from home. Maximizing gate revenue has been one of WWE's goals ever since Endeavor was bought. And
that's great journalistic speaking.
Yeah,
and blah blah blah.
Basically, people are bitching about the prices, which I don't.
We're not over it.
I side with them. Like, do they need to be that high? No, but are people still going to pay for it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's to give an idea. Look at WrestleMania this year. One of the biggest premium events of the entire year. How much was it going to cost us to get to one of the nights of WrestleMania, Fatman? Do you remember? What did it get down to?
It got down to what, 200?
It was just under 200 for night one. So they're saying that this show is worth nearly twice what WrestleMania was worth. Yikes. Once again, money's going to money. You know, go get that money. Go get that fucking bag, you know. Whatever.
I will say that some of these fans are probably just be like fed bad and just bitching about the price of the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So
when the show happens, then the crowd's fucking insane again.
yeah. Apparently, Chuck Taylor's
Actually injured.
Actually injured, and it's like career threatening.
As reported by all the AEW positive fucking reporters, mind you, because everything's at work.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as it stands, as the information that is fed to us, we are to believe apparently there's something actually wrong with him, dude. He can't wrestle no more.
I think Mark Henry's coming out. All right, Sleazy, top belt Sky Blue.
Okay, so what had happened was obviously they do the Dynamite, and then they did an episode of Ring of Honor. This was last Friday, I want to say. Friday or Saturday, whenever it
Saturday,
was.
because it was a Collision too.
Yeah,
it was
so
Ring of Honor Collision.
Yeah, so this was up in Edmonton. Those fucking Canucks. I'm throwing Canadians under the bus on this one.
Whatever, she had a great ass. We say derogatory shit all the time on this fucking podcast, mind you, sir. Before you continue your rant.
I will say that, and I'm going to bring that up too, but that's a whole nother thing. So the reality was there was somebody in the front row harassing Sky Blue during the match. The reality is that this was happening the entire match. This wasn't just a one-off comment here or there, okay? And we'll get into the single comments later or not, but this was 10 full minutes of them just screaming all sorts of sexual, like really raunchy shit. Things like, well, I'm not even going to repeat them. It's bad enough that it shouldn't have been said. Period. This turned into a big deal, obviously. Because it got the fan thrown out. Aubrey Edwards had gotten involved at one point. Everything about it was just terrible. Here at the wrestling show, I've spent 11 years plus putting over women's wrestling, talking it up, basically championing all of that. Now, the reality is women are attractive. Of course. Duh. Yeah. No, right? And it's one thing to say something here and there. This went way beyond that. And I feel like that there have been many times I've been in locker rooms in wrestling shows where the women in the locker room felt threatened. Like outright threatened. Nobody's saying anything to them per se, but you could feel the tension in the air. And there are many women that I've talked to over the years that broken in the business, have been in locker rooms everywhere, have gone out and wrestled in some of the biggest crowds out there that will say the same stuff. Is that anytime they're in the ring, it's always a crapshoot of what's going to get said to them. In the back, there's people in the back that are like just fucking pigs and will say raunchy, horrendous shit to them. It's terrible. We joke a lot on this show. I get it. And you, Ryan, you and I, we've fuck, marry, kill. We've done that many times. We've also done that to guys too, to be fair. But the
fuck, marry, kill the Shield.
What's that?
Fuck, marry, kill the Shield.
You kill Ambrose. 100% kill Ambrose.
Wow. Fuck you. I was going to fuck Ambrose. I was going to marry Roman Reigns because obviously that's money. And you have to kill Seth, I guess.
You fuck Seth, you kill Roman. Or you marry Roman.
No, I think you fuck Ambrose. No, you fuck Ambrose.
That's a crazier fuck. It's a crazier fuck, man.
See, we don't discriminate.
Here's the thing. He'll cut himself during the fuck. Like, you don't care.
And then you could gore his wounds. Come on.
No.
This works.
No.
But I was about to say a really bad one then. Fuck it, I'm going there. Fuck, marry, kill. The one that Rick Steiner got mad at the WrestleCon, Nyla Rose or Aubrey Edwards? I'm still killing Aubrey.
I'm not.
There you go.
Fuck her, she shouldn't be a ref.
I mean, that's who it is. But But the reality here is that these are nothing more than jokes. We're joking. We're an entertainment podcast that masquerades as a journalistic podcast too. But it's meant to be entertaining and funny and so on and so forth. Nothing we say is out of malice. Nothing we say is intentionally sexually charged in the way of derogatory towards women or anybody in the business, because at the end of the day, we love professional wrestling. We love
pussy.
Also pussy, yes. I mean, yes, but to say one of the things that pissed me off the most about this was there was a sense of victim blaming when this all came out. That was actually worse than the actual fan getting injected, because people were like, "Well, Debbie's taking a look at how she acts on Instagram and stuff like that." What? Are we literally going, well, she had it coming to her? Are we going to full,
That's where the
you should have been dressed like that.
Exactly. It's like, why don't you just say, well, she might as well just gotten, it's
Bill Cosby? Pudding popped.
Thank you. I'm trying not to say the word because out of respect.
You can say it on respect or not. It's a harsh line that you can say. Some guy can just say some random shit that'll lead into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's victim blaming is what it is, and it pisses me off in a way that very few things do, because she's trying to make money. She's trying to survive. The things that make her money, for all intents and purposes, is being an attractive woman in a business full of men. So she's taking advantage of that situation by dressing a little skimpily. It's getting eyes on her, and it's getting eyes on the wrestling that she's doing. So I don't...
Or maybe it's cheaper to get trunks than it is tights because her ass is so big. Maybe it's just a money, you know what I mean?
It's a joke, yes, but also maybe there is something about it.
Do not take that as a joke. Maybe she wears shorts because they are easier to purchase because her ample derriere. That is not a joke. That is an actual, could be a reason why she dresses that way.
It's fair point. I'll give you that. But to sit here and jump up and down and say, for 10 full minutes, people screaming shit, yeah, I like it when you're on your knees in the middle of the ring.
That's a bedroom comment.
But that's the kind of shit they were saying at ringside. And that's pushing it. You know what I mean? Even one of those comments is kind of pushing it, but doing it for 10 minutes straight.
10 minutes straight, and you had your child with you.
That was the last bit about that. Is you literally were doing this in front of your kid, you fucking asshole. And
yeah, another thing. If this is a 19+ show, get over it.
Right. That's a little bit different. This is all ages show. Big, it's not blood sport. You know what I mean? It's not, it's not.
There's GCW fans that take their kids to blood sport. Don't fucking act like they wouldn't.
Very true, but it's a little bit more. You're gonna see some shit, kid. Instead
of you're gonna see her shit, kid.
What was the burlesque one that ran in? Was it Hood Slam? I can't remember what it was. It ran in
WEW, Women's Erotic Wrestling.
That was one of them, but I'm not specifically referring to that one. But that's another great example of this. This is why that stuff exists, is because there's a small subset of people that like that shit. That's fine. That's fine if that's what you want to do, and the performers who are performing it want that attention. Go for it. That's not what Sky Blue signed up for. And sure as hell not what most of these women for. One of the ones that you saw that I shared on Instagram was Veda Scott, friend of the show, obviously. She said that her own mother went to her first match and never went back because of all the ridiculous and garish shit that was said to her during her match. And that says everything you need to know about, women's wrestling and professional wrestling. with women in general, because there's always the sense of, oh, they're doing it because it's, innately sexual and so on and so forth. And that's all they're doing it for. That's not always the truth. Now, there are once again, another subset of women's wrestling, like custom matches and stuff like that, where you're paying two wrestlers $500 to do a very specific match with whatever you want. That's fine once again. But once again, the performers are in on it. That's what they want to do. They're making a ton of money off of it. So be it. So I tried to be as nice about this as possible, which I probably shouldn't be, but it really irks me that we're in the year of our Lord 2024 and we're still having to deal with this fucking bullshit. And I know both of you always love to, needle me a bit with Joshi wrestling and shit like that. And, but the reality is that we're better than that, guys. We're better.
You want to know how I know women's wrestling has evolved? Think of the shit that they had to do in the 50s and 60s to get on cards. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's also before you needed a thick skin. Now you need a thick skin and ability to bark back. Because if Sky Blue had to bark back at that fucking idiot once, like, and I'm not victim blaming when I say that, but you do need thick skin, guys or girls in this sport. Girls especially need thick skin because there's going to be people like that. Mm-hmm. But if you're not going to bark back, they're going to keep at it.
Yeah.
He didn't really bark back much when Saraya went over and pointed him out on camera. You know what I mean? Like, Saraya put him in his fucking place for that shit. Mm-hmm. So, to me, it's Sky Blue should take this opportunity now to know that don't fucking cower away. Don't let these people get in your head and upset you. Bark right the fuck back at them.
100%. Last bit is more of a little hackier thing.
I'm previewing Reddit for next week.
Well, you do that. I wanted to show this on stream. Obviously, Raja.com is one of our main sources. We've been with them for decades. I mean, John Canton was a writer originally on there. He was on the show because of Raja.com. One of my favorite bits about this was the original story, and at the bottom was them talking about it on Twitter. And look who they managed to feature as part of this. Ready? Okay. Obviously, Squared Circle /Squared Circle. Yeah, but also
the Drain Maker. Oh, he's a fucking idiot.
Rock solid.
God damn it! Gotta put over Rock Solid too. Out of all this, fuckers.
I don't know if we've done it yet. We gotta put over Wrestling Jeopardy.
Yes,
because I always love putting them over.
Yes. So, spoiler question mark. One of these weeks we're gonna do one of the Wrestling Jeopardy questions. Just the entire episode is going to be his episode. We're going to go literally through it one by one, see how far we get, and so on and so forth. It'll be fun. Enjoy it. Hopefully, with any luck in scheduling, I want to get him on the show. We'll see if we can actually get our schedules to line up and so on and so forth. But I do definitely want to do the Wrestling Jeopardy on the show at least one week. We will figure that out as our schedule lines up. Obviously, we're getting back into the swing of things with pay-per-view reviews and whatnot. So we'll try and fit that in somewhere. But we definitely want to put them over at Kevin J. Callis on on X. I think he's on Instagram as that as well. But most importantly, his YouTube channel, Wrestling Jeopardy. Check it out. It will be in the liner notes of this episode, and probably for the next few weeks anyway, because really, fucking go over there and enjoy that content. It's really well done. And I really, really do mean that. So, Ryan, put yourself over.
After I do my Reddit thing, which is funny because it's Ryan Buckgotch on Reddit and X and Instagram. We also got Sleazy Fat Man on Instagram that we're all going. And check us out on TikTok because we do all the TikTok shit. To preview next week, though, I had one idea I was going to bring up.
Oh, before you go, I did do a TikTok.
I know, I saw. I'm proud. I was going to do one thing, but I'm going to do this two separate things as a preview to show you what you're in for Reddit. It's from wrestling. What made Shawn Michaels' super kick so great? They have an answer to them, but I'm asking you, what made Shawn Michaels' super kick so great?
Because he's a heel.
Wow. I thought it was... I believe it was one of the first ones that really could come out of nowhere.
The answer we were given as the caption, without going through the thread, the caption was the reason it was so great was because of his extension of his leg.
That's fair, yeah.
From all everybody else that does it, when you think about it, he always made sure they get that nice full. And if it was somebody like Big Show, he chopped them down a little bit. And the other one I really wanted to touch on that I thought was cool, it was when you think of a championship, anytime you just think of a random, like next week I'm going to dive into it a bit more, but this week I'm just going to pick a couple at random just for each, just to see the answers. So Fat Man, when you think of the NWA title, who do you think of?
Ric Flair.
Sleazy, when you think of the Jakara Grand Championship, who do you think of?
Eddie Kingston.
Fat Man, last one. When you think of the NWA TV title.
Arn Anderson.
Ooh.
Sleazy, and I don't know how to say it properly, but it's the Jakara Tag Team Championships.
It's got to be the Colony. I like really.
Mine went, in terms of when I thought about these, when I first thought of it, it was Ric Flair for the NWA title, Eddie Kingston for the Grand. The TV title made me think of Sting. Him and Great Muta.
Ooh,
The first thing that popped in my head. And 2.0 at that point, 3.0 now, ever right?
Yeah, 2.0 was good. Yeah.
And then looking just for the Jakara Tag Team ones, looking into it, the Kings of Wrestling, the Young Bucks.
Yeah, there are a
Steve
lot of...
I do believe, the level of tag teams that held that random belt that nobody will ever know.
Yeah.
Right.
But when you think of it, you think Colony, you think of 2.0, you think of Fist, you think of, the big heavy hitters of Chikara themselves.
For them, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all my preview and all that shit. I can't wait for next week because I fucking love Reddit episodes. Sad note, it might be my last one for a while, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it all out. I would say Heavy G, put yourself over, but he's not here.
Fuck that guy. Fuck dates.
Fuck that asshole. I will put over the Best Darn Sports Show period 2. Every other Thursday night at 9?
7:30.
7:30. Somewhere around there. You just show up at 7:30. When it gets on, you'll get there. You have a preview for this coming episode?
Not really. I mean, we did one last week. We got one in a couple weeks. I think it's the 23rd, I think, if I know how to math. Basically, just previewing the last 2 weeks of sports. The NFL schedule comes out tomorrow, so we're going to break down some of that stuff later on.
Stupid bit of trivia for you guys, and Fat Man already knows this because I sent it into our chat. The AFC East is let me get it correctly because I still
think I mean, I never got it. I didn't get it right, but I still think the New England answer technically is technical.
It's not,
but it is because they're not the Boston Patriots. They're the New England Patriots. They can be in Hartford and still be the New England Patriots because they're still in New England. They're representing the region.
Yeah, but it's not the major metropolitan area. That's why.
But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if you guys are going to do this, but whatever. It absolutely does because it's Foxborough. What is Foxborough?
Doesn't matter. Is it in New England? Yes. Therefore, is representing New England.
No, that's how I didn't say what it was representing. I said specifically the major metropolitan area, and it's not.
What major metropolitan area is New England representing?
Boston.
They could represent Hartford.
But they're not because they're originally the Boston Patriots.
Well,
the only reason why
Washington Commanders was originally the Boston Redskins. So
yeah, but that's not because they were there. They were the Washington Redskins because they were not in Washington, though. You can fight it all you want, but it's
the
not
same
true.
concept.
It's not the same concept.
Yes, it is.
It is not the same concept.
Yes, it is.
I'm not going to let you have this. No, it's not.
No, I'm right. It is.
Watch this. I'm at TWS Sleazy. And we are Sleazy Fat Man on Twitter, Twitter X, Instagram,
Twix.
TikTok. I don't even know. Threads. Please go on over there and give us like. You can find videos you can find at twitch.tv/sleazyfatman, youtube.com/sleazyfatman, and premium videos on onlyfans.com/the wrestling show. Make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite platform and click that notification icon on YouTube. It really does show that you can get our live content when we go live. Like we said, like a week and a half ago, we did go live on a very special Monday. That might be happening more often. So click that notifications icon so you can be notified as soon as we go on live. You can find all sorts of content at wrestlingshow.com, including articles, merch, and merch and a ton of other cool stuff. It's been a long night, guys. You can get this podcast every Saturday morning wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, and Podbean. Don't hesitate to rate us on your favorite platform and click automatic downloads. It really does help us up. So with a thanks to Ryan, a fuck you to Heavy G, a fuck you to Deets, and as always, for Sleazy.
For the Fat Man.
This is a Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. We didn't say enough today, which we haven't been a lot lately, so fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Tony Khan and his alleged coke habit. A hot dog's not a sandwich, a sub is not a sandwich, a burger is a sandwich, as Brian said. We're having Reddit for the revenge of the fatal Reddit way?
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm the pain of the game. The bloodshed in your name. When there's nothing to gain.